lives. The first thing I want to tell you about is disappointment and how it can break kids' hearts and how it can lead to fights in school. I interviewed Lori Sane, and she told me about her daughter who found out about Santa Claus through school in her early years of her life. And apparently her heart was broken. And she moped around for a week because she found out that Santa Claus wasn't real. And then I talked to another thing Lori told me that is her brothers broke the news to her when she was in school. And she told other people in her class. And it kind of like started, a domino effect. And apparently the whole school was distraught. I have a quote from an 8-year-old from a Times article. It says, this is talking about the tooth fairy now. I was 8 years old. I was looking for something in my mother's bathroom and I came across a little bag with mine and my brother's teeth, which made me realize that there was no tooth fairy. How depressing is that? That your parents messed it up for you. They caused it and then they messed it up. I mean, seriously. Another reason is because it could cause fights in school. And if a little boy, I want you to know that if a little boy walked into my elementary school with, even if it was a pop gun, he would get expelled. And that did happen, actually. But it wasn't about Santa Claus, but still. So if you don't want to cause fights in school, and you don't want to break the hearts of your children, or other children, or siblings, don't lie to them about Santa Claus. In addition to the disappointment it causes sticky situations. There's awkward moments that come along when you're talking about Santa Claus and everything. And one of them is when your elves get caught. Your elves. And obviously this is a bad thing. Another reason, my aunt likes to, every time we see a man with gray hair and a beard and who's kind of rotund, my aunt takes her little girl up to him and goes, "Look, it's Santa Claus!" One time she did this in a Cracker Barrel, and the guy was a very muscular, huge Santa Claus looking biker with lots of tattoos. And I'm waiting for the day that when the Santa Claus doesn't play back. Another reason is kids torture adults in costume. I was at a birthday party when I was in kindergarten or pre-K, and my friend's dad dressed up as the Easter Bunny. And the boys in my class were pulling at his tail, and they eventually made him fall over, and he hurt his arm, and his head came off. So, well, the fake head. Action causes reaction is another reason that we shouldn't lie. Because kids think someone is breaking into their house sometimes. I've gotten that a few times with the Easter Bunny and the Santa Claus because there's a random fat guy in my house. What's up with this? And another reason is the game turns into a threat. Again, I don't know how many times I've been in a Walmart or out in a store or whatever, and you hear a parent in the middle of July going, "If you don't behave, Santa Claus is going to come get you. You're not going to get any presents. You're going to get coal." So, don't lie. Another reason fairy tales are scary. It goes along with the kids breaking in, people breaking into your house. Who wants this guy who has also been portrayed as a wrestler who beats people up, who bloodies things, who kills people in movies, to come into your kid's bedroom at night and leave a quarter under their pillow? Another thing is, I think costumes are scary, and so does my cousin. So, and I have a quote from the Chicago Tribune that's talking about Santa Claus, but can be applied to different things. And it says, "This giant hairy man, no sooner had the girl's father parked her on his lap and backed away to snap a photo, than the girl looked up at him, back at her mother, and screamed. Her back arched like, 'Get me out of here.'" Oftentimes it can result in pictures like these. And though they're humorous to us now, think of what's going in to those kids' heads. In addition to being scared out of your mind, you hear the things to, like, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus and how that freaks you out and it can mess with your head when you're younger. Plus, it leads to the double standard about lying. Somehow it's okay for us to lie to kids, but when kids lie, they get in trouble. Something's wrong with that. I have quotes from New York Magazine. It says, kids lie early, often for all sorts of reasons, to avoid punishment, to bond with friends, to gain a sense of control. But now there's a singular theory for one way this habit develops. They're just copying their parents. Consider how we expect a child to act when he opens a gift he doesn't like. We instruct him to swallow all his honest reactions and put on a polite smile. This is bad. This is lying. Jesus says, be truthful in all situations. Another reason is because it causes chaos. The lying causes chaos. Even if it means lying, people often like to present themselves in a favorable light. That's a quote from U.S. and World News. New York Magazine says again, they learn honesty only creates conflict, and dishonesty is an easy way to avoid conflict. So people lie, and they cheat, and they steal. You can relate this to the stock market, the current stock market problems that are going on. Obviously, the people who've stolen all of our money were lied to as kids about Santa Claus and fairy tales and everything else, and that's why we are currently in debt. In conclusion, everything's fun and games until somebody gets hurt. And these people, or these imaginative people, obviously have been hurt because they're now in a sport. So I just want to ask you just to bring kids into the game if you're going to play the game, and just tell them what's going on, and tell them they're going to play Santa Claus and play Tooth Fairy and play everything, so they don't get hurt, they don't become disappointed, and you avoid the sticky situations, and you're not setting a double standard about lying. And so I want to leave you with the advice today to go out and play nice.